During the last few weeks, we've reflected on Pope Francis's Lenten theme, "The Word is a gift and other persons are a gift," through the parable of Lazarus and the rich man. We've studied each of the characters in the story and reflected on parallel biblical texts. Today, as the end of Lent is fast approaching, our parable is leading me in a different direction. During the past month, I've spoken several times about our foundress, St. John Gigan, but there are two other holy figures who have been knocking on my door, asking to join in our reflections. The first, St. John of God, lived in early 16th century Spain. The second, Dorothy Day, was a 20th century New Yorker. What could these two possibly have in common? Like Lazarus, John of God and Dorothy Day both knew the experience of being poor and marginalized. But they turned their lives around through the grace of God, and they both became living icons of divine compassion and hospitality. We'll visit with Dorothy Day next week, but for now, let's get to know John of God. After living a nomadic existence for many years, St. John of God experienced a sudden and profound conversion. So great was the invasion of grace in his soul that he ran through the streets like a lunatic and found himself committed to a psychiatric hospital where patients were chained and cruelly treated. John was profoundly impacted by his experience, embracing these sad souls as brothers and sisters and seeing in them the suffering Christ in his passion and death. He went on to establish hospitals and founded a religious community, the Hospitaller Order of St. John of God. John encouraged his followers to meditate often on the passion and wounds of Jesus Christ and to show hospitality to the poor out of love for him. If we look forward to receiving God's mercy, we can never fail to do good so long as we have the strength, he often said. For if we share with the poor out of love for God whatever he has given to us, we shall receive according to his promise 100-fold in eternal happiness. St. John of God used to walk the streets of Granada begging alms for the poor, calling out to passers-by, "Do good to yourselves, brothers, give to the poor." He understood the connection between being merciful and receiving mercy. It was a Hospitaller brother of St. John of God who gave our foundress, St. John Gigan, her first begging basket, and who inspired her to include the fourth vow of hospitality in our religious profession. Although John of God is not a well-known saint in America today, his example and intercession can profoundly impact the way we care for the poor, the sick, and the homeless. I'd like to end our visit today with excerpts of a poem shared with me by one of the brothers of St. John of God. It's called Song of the Wounded. Where is the one who accepts me, who does not cringe at the sight of my crumpled body, who is not overwhelmed upon hearing my fractured story? Where is the one who is not frustrated by my inabilities or offended by my many transgressions? Is there anyone out there who understands me, say the wounded ones of this world? Is love really possible? And then suddenly, unexpectedly, he came, and he walked with us wounded ones, the Galilean, this one for whom not one of us is ever too much. And suddenly now, I have discovered love. Where are the John of God-like followers of the Galilean, those lovers for whom we are never too much? Where are those who will burst into my world with refreshing energy when others are paralyzed, turned off, turned away by my presence? Where are those who will boldly seek me out while I am still tentative, suspicious, weary, and a long way off? For my heart aches, say the wounded of this world, for the one who will tell me, proclaim to me and discover with me that Christ-like love from which even I, deeply wounded as I am, can never be separated. May we be those love-filled followers of the Galilean.